Fashionpreneurs, hear this. If your fashion business feels loud, it is because you have no operational rules. My name is Rora Olaubaka, and I am called your profitable fashion coach because I'm the only one who is obsessed about ensuring your fashion business is profitable. Today, we are going to be looking at the topic of loudness. Why do we have loud fashion businesses? Does your business feel loud? Not noisy, not that people are seeing you, not that you have visibility, but inside your business feels loud. So you have messages everywhere coming in for different platforms. You're the one responding to everything. You have staff constantly asking you questions. You have customers waiting in the DM. You have customers waiting in the store. You have questions here and there. You have deadlines that are overlapping. This one gone out. Has this one gone out? You have deadlines that are overlapping. You find yourself sleeping, but somehow you can't sleep because you're thinking of the next customer order and when it's going to go out. You're not overwhelmed because your business is bad. You are overwhelmed because the business has no rules. So let me explain the concept of loudness. When I say if your fashion business is loud, it's because it has no rules. Let's see, what does loud even really mean? What does loud mean? A loud business is a business where, number one, everything is manual. Your entire process is done manually. And by I mean manual, I mean like it's done through your intellect. You as a fashion founder, everything you do is done by the power of your mind. Somehow, every decision is made by you. Every decision is manual. Madam, which order are going out today? Okay. Let this one go out. Let this one go out. Let this one go out. Oh, madam, what do we need to buy from the market? Go and buy this one. Buy this one. Buy this one. Madam, should we use this stream or this stream? Use this stream, not the other one. But so every decision you make doesn't have a method to it. Oh, madam, what should we post today? What do we have now? Just post anything. Just post. So everything that is done is manual. It's manual. Every problem reaches you. Every single problem reaches you. Your cleaner did not come to work. It's you. The customer got a cloth without button. It's you. The customer called and is raking because the delivery rider is not on time. It's you they are calling. There are others in the DM. Is you. We need to buy something from the market. The supplier is you. We need new designs. Is you. This pattern is not making sense. Is you. So every single problem must land on your desk. There's no authority installation system. Every day you start all over again. Every day starts from zero. Every day is a new day. It's almost as if you newly discovered your fashion business every day. So yesterday you fight the battle, today you fight the battle, tomorrow you fight it again. Every day is like you're starting from ground zero. Silence in business comes from structure. Yes, it is structure that actually brings silence in your business. The silence we are talking about in this context is brought about by structure. So let's see, how do our businesses even become loud in the first place? What makes our businesses loud? How did we even get to this loud place where we are? I'll explain how you got there. Number one, you learned how to sew. I remember I tell this story all the time, and it's my story, so it's mine to tell, right? But I remember that I first started sewing because tailors kept spoiling my clothes. And so I was like, this sewing cannot be that hard. Let me to go and sew. And that was how I found myself sewing. And you know how it is. You first start with by sewing for yourself, and then people say they like it, and then you sew for the next person, and then you just keep going. So somehow the sewing happened to you. You didn't quite plan to start a business. All you knew was that you saw a gap in your life, perhaps like me, that you wanted to fill, that you wanted to fix. You weren't really interested in showing it to other people, but then other people came, right? So here you are. So you learned sewing, you learned how to design, or you learned how to pattern. And people kept coming to you, bringing clothes. You say, oh, okay, I can make this one. You will make it. They'll say, thank you. Oh, this dress, so beautiful, so wonderful, 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 wonderful. You'll be hearing wonderful every day, right? So you will hear wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Hmm? So you continued in that way. You learned how to, and like many times when I see like curriculum of fashion schools these days, it's kind of like the same thing. You have fashion schools that are constantly teaching fashion entrepreneurs how to sew. They're constantly teaching you how to make dresses or how to do seams if you're lucky, because some schools don't even really teach seam finishing that well. So they teach you how to sew, they teach you how to do steams, they teach you how to do all these things. And so for the average fashion entrepreneur out of Africa, and I say average, with every sense of restraint, for the average fashion entrepreneur out of Africa, you start out doing, you start out as a maker, you start out as someone who is in the trenches getting the actual work done. And that's a good place to start, because somehow being in that place actually gives you mastery. It makes you really understand who you are, what you're about, what your brand is about. But here's the problem: you were never taught decision systems. Nobody ever told you that this is how you structure decision making in your organization. That not everything should come to you, and there will be levels of decision making, especially when you start employing. So when you're a solo entrepreneur, you can be everything. But like I always say when I teach, I say, even in your everythingness, let there be a structure, let there be a documentation system, so that by the time your everything becomes too much for you and you have to get someone else in, there's something that you can hand over. There's a document that you can use to say, this is how we do things here. Go study this document and come back to me with questions. So you were never taught decision systems. We were never taught what it even means to, so I remember the first time I hired a manager. I called the person, like, I just said, oh, you're a manager. And so the person was managing literally everything, HR, admin, quality control, everything. The person was managing everything. And of course, as my business started to grow, excuse me, of course, as my biggest business started to grow, I realized that that business model was not even going to be sustainable. Um, Operations needed to have a head, and I needed to define what operations even meant. And so, at Wura, so I'm the founder of Wura NG. Wura NG is a Nigerian ready-to-wear brand that makes classic dresses for confident women, keeping the focus on you, making you come out as the most authentic version of yourself, exactly how you are. So, when we were building that operations role, after experience, I was like, okay, now this is what operations needs to be. Operations need to be able to handle this, that. And then if I now need to have sub teams like the factory manager who checks if the machines are working, the lights, the gen, and all that, if I need to have the procurement person who goes to the market, updates inventory, and all those people come under the head of operations. So the head of operations is the overseeing person for those other smaller departments, and they don't come to me as a founder. They go to the head of operations, and operations feeds me back. And the same thing comes with admin. So you know that, okay, you're hiring people or you're planning to hire people. You need to create a HR structure, for instance. So who do your tailors report to? They should not just feel okay, like maybe you've hired 10 tailors and everybody is coming to you. Why? Person papa sick, he come to you. Pikin sick, he come to you. The person gone sick. They are all coming to you. So that will just be you multiplying, your problems. So you need to now create that level where you say, okay, there is HR and then there's me. So there's you, then there's a HR manager who is the stopgap, collects all the shock absorber for all the personnel problems before it gets to you. Same thing with your workflow design. You need to have a way you design your workflow. Production comes before conceptualization comes before production. Toiling comes before production. Patterning comes before production. I mean, they're all parts of production, but then you now design the workflow in production to make sure that each person knows the process by which their tasks are executed. It's about a flow chart of the process by which work is executed. So, because somehow we went to fashion school and we flipped out on all these things, we did not realize that we needed this until we started. And now, some of you are even running these systems and you don't even know that you can be better. You know that there's some burnout somewhere, but you're not really sure. So, growth creates noise. And success without structure will become chaotic. Put that in the comments. Success without structure becomes chaos. So, what do rules actually mean? What do rules actually mean? The first thing you need to understand is that there's a difference between rules and restrictions. Your rules would decide, for instance, who is approving what. So if you have a production workflow and let's say the process is you have designs, you've already decided on the design that you want to make. Those designs are patterned, those designs are tiled, those designs are tested on a fit model. After the fit model testing, if the testing protocol is okay, then you move it to mass production. If it's not okay, you go back, you redo the patterns, check what pattern pieces had problems, and then test it again on a toil and on a fit model before, if you get the fit, you now actually move to production. If you have that production workflow, it will naturally say, okay, at what process is an approval done? Who approves what? How do your orders move? So for instance, from the time that someone says good afternoon or good morning in the DM, how does that customer get funneled in? Do you have sales scripts? How do you move people from I love this to putting money in your bank account? Rules will also decide what quality means. What does quality mean in your brand? Because quality can mean someone just stitching and not finishing a dress. So if the stitch is secure, that's quality. To another person, quality can mean finishing a dress and just doing an overlocking on the dress. So you just do that weaving machine. You weave it. That's quality. And to another person, quality can mean doing a bound hem. So you're using a bias, you're biasing it all the way, you're doing a bound hem. You're making sure that the hem is bound. So whether you're using a Hong Kong or a French SIM, something that when they open it, they are not seeing any thread, they are not seeing any signs of overlocking, because for you, your customer is premium, so your quality is also premium. If there's no document that says this is what quality means in my brand, this is what finished work should look like, when the production quality control is being done, this is what should happen before it moves from production quality control to sales quality control. Rules should decide how customers are handled. When a customer has bought from you, what happens next? Do you go back to ask the person how the outfit was? Do you go back to ask the person for their do you go back to ask the person for their details? Do you put them into a community? Do you create an emailing system where you nurture them? How do you manage customer complaints? Do you just say, oh, I'll get back to you, or you have a script? Hello, ma'am. I'm sorry that your order did not meet your expectations. Could you kindly itemize the specific items that, or the specific parts of your order that you were not satisfied with? Do you have a way that customers' objections are handled? Because the truth is that without rules, you will manage people emotionally. Whether those people are your staff, whether those people are your customers, whether those people are third-party independent contractors like your suppliers, if you don't have rules, you will manage them emotionally. But when you have rules, work manages itself, because work knows what must happen for the work to get done. So rules create emotional management, while lack of rules create emotional management, while the presence of rules creates work that manages itself. Put that in the comment section. So the absence of rules creates emotional management, while the presence of rules creates work that is self-managed. The work manages itself. Let's look at a simple scenario. I mean, this is our Fashion Daily Fix. We're all fashion entrepreneurs and we're having a conversation. So let's look at this simple scenario. So let's say you have a design that you do all the time. And this design, okay, so let's take what I'm wearing for instance. So this design requires you to put in 2 zippers, right? And the zippers need to be impeccably finished because it's right at the beginning of that garment so people can see it. Now, today your staff comes to ask you, madam, abeg dis zip, how dem dey put am? You fit show me? You show the person. Tomorrow, maybe you have another staff on the production line, or you have more than one person who does the design, or you have a lot of orders for it, so maybe you have to diversify the people that are doing the design, right? Tomorrow, somebody else will still come and ask you, madam, dis zip, how we dey put am again? You will tell them, when you want to put it, do this, the fabric is stretching, you need to align your tape, you need to whatever. You tell them again. Next week, same order, same problem, they come to you again, you tell them again. Do you think in this scenario the problem is the staff? Tell me in the comments. Do you think the problem is the staff, or do you think that perhaps the problem is that decision was never captured? You did not systemize you see, I always tell fashion entrepreneurs that if you have a question that reoccurs in your business, it means that it's an invitation to systemize, create a system. So that decision that you made was never captured. So this person cannot look at a document and say, oh, in this place, this is how they do this, or this is how they do that. He can't look at that document. So they just continue. That's noise. That's noise repeating itself. So the truth is that every repeated question is a missing rule. Put that in the comments. Every repeated question is a missing rule. So if you answer something twice, it should become a system. That's the beginning of leadership. That's how you lead. That's how you lead without burnout, I dare say. If you answer something twice, systemize it. Systemize it. And that is why I always say that rules are simply decisions written down. That's what rules are. And that's what SOPs are. Standard operating procedures. The way things should be done. The repeatable system by which a task gets done day in, day out. That's what SOPs are. So what do SOPs do? They reduce noise. They remove confusion. They protect your energy. And they stabilize your growth. Did you get that? I said they reduce noise. They reduce noise. They remove confusion. They protect your energy. And they stabilize your growth. That's what SOPs can do for you. That's what SOPs can do for you. So, you need to really go back into your systems and ask yourself, what is loud in this business? What is loud in this business? And what can I do about this loud thing? And that is why we have created, in fact, as a matter of fact, we have about 2 or 3 SOP systems within the framework of the PFA. We have the SOP creation toolkit, which is a toolkit that creates SOP. It teaches you how to create an SOP. It teaches you what to do so that you are able to create SOPs yourself. And this is a resource that you can buy today, now, and start creating SOPs. Start knowing how you create SOPs that actually work. And as a single resource, this resource is just 5,000 naira. It's just 5,000 naira. If you're buying it as a part of 12 in 1 ready-to-wear bundle, then I think that bundle comes at the total. So you have 12 items, and it comes at the total price of about 20,000 naira. So if you know that you need, more structure, you want to actually be able to approach even transitioning and documentation in a more structured way, then actually the 12 in 1 ready-to-wear bundle is what you buy. So the SOP creation toolkit is a part of that bundle, and that bundle actually will take you from point A to point B in terms of documenting your fashion business. But if you now need to go further and create, you say, okay, I'm tired though, I don't want to think of how to create SOP. This SOP thing is scattering my brain. I want a solution that is plug and play. I want something that I can just pick and I can just use it anytime. I don't want something that I have to start trying to figure it out. Then that is why we are creating the Fashionpreneur SOP Vault. That SOP Vault, actually, what it actually does is to give you plug and play templates for your SOPs, so that you don't have to say, oh, I don't know how to create it, oh, I don't know what to write, I don't know how to write what I'm writing. Whoa, wow. No, you just move So that bundle is actually created to help you move so that all the excuses can stop. Because in the PFA Ready to Wear Bootcamp, last week we dealt with the issue of SOPs. Last week was SOP week. And, a lot of feedback from the bootcamp participants was, oh, I'm still struggling. I just want to have like templates, like samples that I can just use. And so we are going back into our systems and we are creating this SOP, the Fashionpreneurs SOP Vault, so that for every time you need something to plug and play, you have where to get it from. Yes, you know that we think about you constantly in the Profitable Fashionpreneur Academy. We don't want you to be tired, right? So the Fashionpreneur SOP Vault is actually a plug and play resource that helps you have the SOPs that you need. It helps you have the SOPs that you need. Plug and play. You just take it and you run with it. Because like I said, we have heard the feedback. So if you need any of these resources, you can either type 12-in-1 if you want the 12-in-1 bundle. You type SOP if you want the SOP plug and play bundle, or you type toolkits if you want to be able to create the SOPs yourself. So wherever you are in your journey, we are there to help you. And of course, if you need further help, the number to reach out to is displayed on the screen. It will also be in the comment section. So just, click on the number anywhere on this video to get further help. Remember, your business isn't loud because you are incapable. No. Your business is loud because it is waiting for structure. And that structure is what the Fashionpreneur SOP bundle helps you build. It helps you install the rules that your business is asking for. Because guess what? Peace in business is engineered. So choose peace today. My name is Wura Olaubaka, and I am called your Profitable Fashion Coach. I hope you have picked a thing or two that you will implement today in our PFA Daily Fashion Fix. I want to know what you picked in the comment section. So drop what you picked right there in the comment section. As always, I'll see you same time, same station tomorrow, where we'll be exploring yet another exciting topic on how we can create structures in our business. Have a good evening, fashionpreneurs, and I will see you right here tomorrow.
First of all, I want to thank you, Wura, for putting up this bootcamp.
Thank you, Coach Wura. You are a blessing to us in this bootcamp and to your generation at large.
Coach, you are amazing. I love your teaching. I love how you are genuinely teaching us and you genuinely want us all to be successful and to start right.
Thank you, Coach Wura.
And thank you, Coach Wura, for investing in the next crop of fashion entrepreneurs.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
And so you're a fantastic teacher, being able to break down to the nitty-gritty in the simplest of ways that even a baby would understand and be able to implement.
I have never had so much thinking about my business. Like, my eyes are just opening every day to new things.
And I'm really grateful for this platform, because it has made me to realize that in order to be successful, you have to build systems.
It has really been an eye-opening journey for me. I finally understood the power of having clear, standard operating procedures for my business.
I have never seen a more consistent person in my life. The kind of way you inspire us, even if we are ashamed to give excuses in the bootcamp. So for me, Wura is a real deal. Go and check her out.
Thank you so much, PFA.
I'm really proud to, call you my coach.
Thank you, Coach Wura.
God bless you.